Welcome to Lifeline, your ultimate guide to bridging the gap between where you are to where you want to be. You can also catch Lifeline on Facebook and YouTube of Billionaire News Channel. I'm your host, Carelle Herrera, and in every episode, we sit down with experts and individuals who faced challenges, embraced change, and discovered what it takes to move forward. Together, we listen to stories that can help you unlock your fullest potential, whether it is in your career, relationships, health, or personal growth. Join us as we discover how you can create the life you have always dreamed of. Let us all find out right here on Lifeline. We built Train Station Philippines, where we combine brain science and performance to help people rewrite their life scripts. Tonight, the man behind the titles, 1989 FAMAS Best Child Actor for the movie Rosenda, 1987-1988 Metro Manila Film Festival Best Child Performer for Agila ng Maynila, Chief Strategist of Train Station Philippines, Gallup Certified Coach, and of course, my husband and father to our 2 children. Ladies and gentlemen, RR Herrera.
Hello.
Hello, hello!
How weird na to! This is so weird, but hello.
Meron pa ako mas mahaba dapat sasabihin, pero parang I want to go straight to the point of, interviewing you tonight for Father's Day.
Okay.
Okay, so now, ang daming nagtatanong tungkol sa ano nangyari kay RR Herrera, bakit siya nag-quit ng showbiz at nasaan na siya ngayon. Maybe you could give us a little bit of that. Alam ko na yung sagot doon, guys, pero
Kaya nga weird to
para
but,
sa mga audience
siguro
natin.
why I quit showbiz, it's not really a choice. I still wanted to be in showbiz at that time, and then, of course, nahihirapan na ako. It was, I was in high school, and of course, Ateneo to. So, before, grade school, kaya pa kahit puyat, kahit hindi mag-aral, mataas pa rin ang grades, nag-honors pa din. And then, when I got to high school, parang yung grades ko hindi na masyadong maganda. So, and tama-tama, it was the awkward stage also. And then, my parents were like, si mama at si papa, parang, it's not a choice. It's not even a choice. We discussed this, na you have to prioritize your studies. So, I had to quit.
Kumbaga, pinagbigyan ka nila.
Yeah.
Nung bata ka na gusto mo mag-artista. Pero, bakit daw mag-aral rather than showbiz? meron ka ng meron ka ng safety, kumikita ka na.
Yeah.
Ang laki ng kinikita mo nun. Alam ko yun.
Yeah,
pero,
nasa na yun ngayon. Right? But yun they understood that it's not something that's permanent. At least there's a fallback, no? Na para if things don't work, if things don't continue showbiz-wise, at least I can get a job, I can put up my own company, which I did after college, no? After college, I tried to go back into showbiz, tried commercials again, did VTRs for a year, wala ako nakuha, and then the next year naman, dire-diretso. Biglang ang dami ko naman na-book na commercials. And then, guestings, may mga series naman ako nagawa. And then, parang hindi na rin nagpatuloy.
Yung natutunan mo resource sa pagiging child star.
Yeah.
And looking at your kids now, you have 2 kids. You have talaga, tayo, we have 2 kids. What are the things that, yung parang resource na, sana meron sila nito, sana merong ganito to help them out?
As much as we can, ang ginagawa naman natin is really to expose them to different kinds of people. No? Like ako, kasi laking bagay sa akin noon that while I was in showbiz, siyempre pag nasa location ka, tambak ka dyan, di ba? Kumaga, mag-antay ka ng eksena mo, kakausapin mo yung mga nasa location. So, cameraman, yung mga may-ari ng bahay na tinitira nyo for that day, di ba? Ibang bata. And of course, iba-iba sila ng kwento. So, I got to ask them questions, ganyan. And even with our kids, ganun din naman, di ba? So, they get exposed to different kinds of people. And I'm happy that we get to bring them to those things whenever we do talks for Tondo, to Smoky Mountain, di ba? And
Nakikita rin nila.
nakikita rin nila. So, akin malaking value yun eh. I hope also na mabigay natin yung, ako, kasi at a very young age, nagbabayad ako ng buwis. Nagtatrabaho ako, kumikita ako.
Sumusunod ka sa call time?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Kasi si mama at si papa nga, di ba, hindi naman sila showbiz. So, corporate sila eh. So, alam nila, pag sinabing 8 o'clock, 7:30, 7 o'clock, nandyan ka.
Kahit yung mga ibang kasama mong artista, late, ng mga ilang oras or isang araw, ikaw nandudong ka.
Sila, ano sila eh, may pangalan naman sila eh, sikat na sila, di ba? So ako, bakit ako yung gano'n, di ba? Parang,
Pero may pangalan ka na rin naman nun. So,
that's the thing, wala yun nung bata ka eh. You don't realize that. You don't realize that you have a big name. You have, wala. Ako, at least for me, hindi ko na-realize yun.
you didn't realize you were famous? So you just showed
Medyo
up?
weird lang when I would walk in the mall with my family and people be like, oh, here, pa-picture ako. Parang, kaya ka nahihiya ako. Kaya ako nagtatago kay mama at kay papa. Kasi, again, in my family, normal. I was in a school na Ateneo na, again, hindi ako treated differently or special treatment, wala. So, from my point of view, normal. Hindi ko alam na may pangalan, ganyan.
Parang kakaiba yung pagkabata mo, no? Kabataan mo.
Super.
And for a long time, you tried to be normal?
Always.
Okay.
That has been like, I've always tried to be normal. Like, alam mo yung may blueprint naman ng buhay, di ba? Yung sinasabi ko sa'yo na parang, it was never in my blueprint. A lot of things were never in my blueprint. Parang, ibabalik ko yun sa pagiging normal. But
You
yun
wanted
nga,
to be normal.
I wanted to be normal because I was doing things, childhood ko nga, di ba, hindi naman normal, right? And then, tayo, our relationship, it's not normal. Me being a father, it's not the normal scenario. So,
Yeah.
it was a struggle. Like, it has been a theme in my life na parang, gusto bumalik sa pagiging normal. And then I realized na parang, it was when I took yung Gallup strengths, no, na certification. May isang strength doon which is connectedness, na parang there's a reason for everything. And it's something I really resonated with, na parang, oh nga, no, na parang lahat ng events sa buhay ko, parang led me to this point in my life. And I realized, na parang sabi ko, I didn't have a normal childhood. I didn't have like a normal relationship. My being a father wasn't normal. So sabi ko ba, why am I trying to fit in? And why do I want to be normal kung buong buhay ko naman I was made to be different?
Kaklaruhin lang natin kasi parang mga tao magtataka, bakit hindi normal yung relationship ninyo? At saka bakit hindi normal yung pagiging tatay? Sige, to give context lang po sa mga tao, I am 7 years older.
Yeah.
So that's one. I was also previously married. So that's another one. And RR is a single guy coming from a well-to-do family, di ba? A rich family. And then...
Grabe naman yung rich.
Rich, sige, a well-to-do family. And then, marrying someone na parang, uy, hindi conventional yun,
Yes.
hindi normal.
Yes.
And that we...
And you knew that it was a struggle for a time,
for a
right?
time, yeah. And also that both our kids are adopted.
Adopted, yeah.
So, nandoon na naman sa hulmang kaming apat, ay talaga namang tayong dalawa ay hindi blood-related, no?
Thank God,
Kailangan
right?
dapat yun. Pero in a family picture, all of us have different, blood flowing through our veins, and we all love each other.
And we're still a family.
Immensely, tremendously as a family. So, okay, balik natin doon. So, doon mo niyakap yung proseso na, teka, hindi kailangan ng normal.
Yeah. It showed proof for me. All my life, parang even the time na sila mama, lagi nag-aampon niya. Kasi I was the only kid then. Lagi nag-aampon niya ng ibang kids, no? Like, again, si Juday was part of that. There was Johnny Vivto, there was Lori Alice Buona. Yung mga kasama ko sa showbiz, ganyan.
Inaampon ni mama at ni papa.
They would spend days or a day or play with me in the house, or sometimes they would sleep over. Tapos, there would be times nga na sila na magsusundo. Tapos, alam, parang nanay at tatay talaga sila. And then, again, you know this, in the house of sila mama at si papa, parang there was an extra room dun sa parang ampon-ampon nila na baby. And then, biglang nagdalaga na, and now that room is free. And then, that's when na-realize ko na, oh, yung kwartong yun para kay Rafael pala.
Yeah,
Diba?
yeah.
So, alam mo, parang lahat parang hinanda that time na parang nag-aampon-ampon sila mama at si papa. So, parang they were being trained to love someone not of blood.
Yeah.
Because
Also
we
you.
were... we were going to adopt a Rafael.
Yeah,
So,
and a Rocio.
yeah, so yun. Yun, ganda lang ng story na parang I feel like I was being led to the kind of life that I have right now.
Now, when it comes to being an adoptive father, how was that for you? Because I had a different process. I've had miscarriages, right? I was the one who carried and lost. You know, you were on the sideline seeing my brokenness, and of course you were sad as well. But for you to say yes to an adoption, we have not talked about this, okay? For you to say yes to an adoption and saying, sige, pwede namang hindi kasi masaya naman tayo. Nagta-travel tayo, adventure tayo together. Ano
Paano
yung
ba?
nagpa-yes sa'yo?
Well, again, I talk about the blueprint. Siyempre, blueprint mo, siyempre gusto mo magkaroon ka ng anak. Because that was the normal thing, right? Gusto mo rin yun. I had a happy family life also with my family. Na parang gusto ko ganun din uli, di ba? But again, we had miscarriages and we were happy rin naman. So okay lang kung hindi, right? But then, yung sinasabi kong signs, there's a very special story about Rafael and Rocio, the way we got them. So parang ako, again, no, being led na this is for you. So sometimes you just have to say yes and listen to that na, oo, para sa akin talaga to. So,
Alam mo na there are people na parang nagiging fathers kasi napilitan, natulak doon, wala silang magawa.
Alam mo yung, even if I said yes na gusto ko, alam mo yung, takot din naman eh, di ba? I don't think there's ever like a person na ready na talaga maging tatay, even up to the point na, nandyan na, di ba? Parang, matatakot ka pa rin eh.
Yeah.
But I guess that's part of it eh. That part of being a father na sometimes, may matatakot ka talaga, but you just have to accept it. Nandyan
That's
eh.
true. No one really prepares you for it. Even if you're financially okay, you still wonder about, I will raise this child.
Oo. That time also, alam mo na parang, are we financially okay for this? And then, dumadating na lang, tama yung sinasabi nila na there's blessings with a kid na kasama ng bata. I never thought that we'd be able to afford stuff for him, send him to school, kasi dati tayo lang iniisip natin, pero wow, kaya pala, right? So yeah.
And being able to talk about adoption with the kids. I mean, ito ata yung parang pwede natin pag-usapan after the break because a lot of people na nandun sa same situation as you and I na they have adopted or there are kids who find out that they're adopted and there's like a lot of brokenheartedness from discovering it. You know, let's talk about that later on. So we will be right back after the break. Welcome back to Lifeline. Now, I'm going to show you a survey that I've done. At nakita mo ito na ginagawa ko itong survey na to. So, ito yung fill in the blanks siya na survey. Tinatanong ko yung mga tao na ano ba yung wish nila na ginawa more ng tatay nila. So, this is something that a lot of people said. I wish my dad blanked more. And if you'd see there, laughed more, talked more, lived more. Medyo heartbreaking, no? Hugged me more. Okay, ano dito?
Relaxes more.
Oo, relaxes more. Took us outside for a meal more. Express his affection more. Enjoy the world more. Nakakaiyak! You know, and I see something that says still be alive. But would play with me more. Anything here that strikes you as a father that, you know, I don't know, do you wish you're doing more of that or you are doing more of this?
Ewan ko. Kasi, hindi yun sa magyabang, pero parang, we laugh a lot. Yung relax siguro, mas relax. Feeling ko, yung anak ko yung nagsabi ng relax more. Intense kasi ako bilang tatay.
Talaga intense ka?
Wow.
Joke.
Intense ako kasi hindi mo kaya mag-intense. Wala akong choice.
Oo, yan. Meron tayong ganyan. In a relationship, di ba, merong good cop, bad cop.
Pero hindi na nagpalit yun eh.
Oo.
Usapan natin magpapalit tayo, pero
Oo, pero
di
mahirap
na eh.
Oo eh. So, now we're going to talk about, being a father, and ito, ginawa mo na. You laugh more, you talk more. And not everyone has that kind of a parang privilege or blessing, di ba? So, kung meron kang ma-advise sa mga tatay out there na siguro mabasa nila tong survey na to, ang problema, busy din sila sa buhay eh.
Ano ba? Get into their world. We were discussing this a while the other night, no? Yung si Rafael asked for a toy, and then nandun na siya sa age kasi na hindi na siya masyadong nagsasalita. So, ang hirap niya, alam mo, parang nasa loob siya ng shelves, ang hirap niya palabasin na parang, hoy, nasan yung anak ko, ganyan. It's not like before anymore. But when he asked for that toy, say, I'll buy you one, ganyan. Akala ko 800, ganyan. 3,000 yun lang dun eh. So parang, wait lang. So sabi ko, sige, willing naman ako 1,000. Sabi ko, the 2,000, get it from your money. Di ba? May pera naman siya eh. Pero,
may secret ako, binigyan ko rin siya ng 1,000.
Okay lang yun. Pero ang maganda naman kasi, kasi ako gusto ko matuto siya na, pag-ipunan niya yung bibili niya. But that night, na naglalaro kami, parang, it was fun for me. Parang it wasn't like the fun that we had before na father-son, ano? Pero yung iba na yung mundo, parang minsan kailangan mo bilhin yung moment na yun eh. So I had to buy that toy for us to have that moment. Minsan, ganun talaga eh.
Or you create that space. You really have to make sure you create that space.
You create that space. Again, sometimes the space that you have as a father is not the space that your kid wants.
Right.
So get into their world na ang gusto niya Beyblade eh. Di, bilhin mo yung Beyblade, tapos maglaro kayo doon. Gusto niya yung game sa PS na Little Nightmare. Di, laro kayo. Kahit hindi kayo naglaro, basta tabi ka lang niya. Yung anak ko naman, naglalaro siya mag-isa, pero gusto niya, pag naglaro siya, kasama ako. Yung ganun.
There was actually one story like that wherein the mom just sat with the child while playing the computer games, and then parang sinabi lang daw nung anak, I like it that you're just sitting with me.
Exactly.
I mean, they're not playing together, but she was just sitting.
Exactly. Hindi naman you'd be surprised, no, na para, again, you posted this na para nung Mother's Day na para sometimes you think you fail as a mom kasi dahil mo ginagawa, but you'd be surprised kung ano yung kailangan ng mga bata. You don't have to talk, you just be there. Kay Rocio, I think, alam niya na pag gusto niya ayusin yung hair, Dad, can you fix my hair? Yan, ako.
Not mom, no?
That's my thing with Rocio naman.
Yeah.
Iba-iba kami. So,
what a lot of people probably don't know is that, you're the type of dad na ikaw yung nag-aayos ng buhok, not mommy. Ikaw yung pumipili ng mga clothes, not mommy. Yeah, you're the one.
Yes and no.
Yeah, you're the one.
She picks, but
Yeah.
no.
You're the one who cooks.
You also cook, but more
you.
often than that. Yeah.
Okay. So saan galing yung motivation for you to do that as a father? Or resource as a father to do that?
It's not really siguro as a father, but sa trabaho natin, parang I just need something to do na walang ginagamit na isip, walang ginagamit na ano. I think it's that. And plus, you know me, I've always been about service eh.
Yeah.
I like serving people, and I think that's the reason why dati ako pa yung gumagawa ng talks. Now I'm more behind the scenes.
Yeah. You're directing, etc.
I conceptualize.
Doon tayo sa naiwan ko before the break, and it's about adoption and how do you open up communication on adoption with kids, and ano yung proseso mo, paano mo kinakausap yung mga bata about it?
Ang weird ng term na open up adoption eh. Kasi open up, ibig sabihin nakasara siya, di ba? Parang, that's the thing. With us, we did not have to open up eh. It was just a thing. It was normal. You're adopted. You get? So parang, there was nothing to open. And I think yun yung maganda sa kanila because walang kailangang transition. Kasi ever since, it's been like that. And it's a normal thing. Ang naging problem lang natin, because with us, with our circle, it's a normal thing. But when they step outside, like when they get exposed to other kids, and sa school, sa playground, and hindi normal yun.
Yeah.
Then they start to say na parang, wait, sa amin normal yung adoption. Bakit nagre-react yung ibang tao?
At saka gine-joke ng mga tao yung ampon.
Yeah.
Parang, bakit siya joke? masakit yun. Nung narinig ko na parang nagjo-joke yung mga bata, you're adopted. Yeah, you're adopted. Tapos, you were not there kasi lumabas ka sandali from the party of Rocio and the kids started doing that. Talagang yung luha ko nangingilid nun. And then, parang, sabi ko, gusto ko sumugod. Gusto ko manlaban. But, yeah, parang when you talk to me and said na, parang the kids are okay. We talk to the kids and they're good about it because no one's lying to
and
them.
they'll learn something from that, to take it. You know, being adopted is just one thing that they will be called. When they grow up, ang daming pwedeng itawag sa kanila.
They'll be called many other things.
They'll be called many other things. And if they have that resource na, pinukso nga ako, kaya ko naman. What are the other things that they can take? Diba? So, ayan mo.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Let them be.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I remember one story when a couple went into the house and the woman was pregnant.
No.
And then, what did our son say?
Sabi nila, oh, so when will the baby be adopted? So, ganun ka-normal yung adoption. Kasi akala nila it's part of the process.
Na lahat ng manganganak ay i-adopt. Now, what is the difference between, you think, an adoptive father and a biological father na, you know, biologically mine, I raise it, and then an adoptive father who's raising their kids?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. But the way I would be as a father if I had like a biological son, pareho din eh. I told you this. Parang, nung sabi mo na, he's adopted, baka isipin niya ganun. Sabi ko, and I don't care because whether he's adopted or not, that's the way I will bring up my son. Diba? So sabi ko, for me, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. We love them completely.
Yep.
And I think that's the thing about being a father. An adoptive father is all about love. And ayun, walang pagkakaiba po talaga. I actually asked my mom about that, right? And my dad, I said, ano difference ng adopted at hindi? Sabi nila, hindi. Walang pinagkaiba. Whew. So, ang dami mong trophy, ang dami mong awards, pero I feel like, you know, one of the best things is, na gusto kita bigyan ng award, is really best father. You've always been present, and I think that's a resource that people could learn from, is that presence does not have to be about quantity of time, but the quality.
So can I just add also, as in being a father, I mean, the kind of work that we do, we help a lot of people, we help a lot of communities, but when I became a father, that was my first responsibility. If I can do that for this community, if I can do that for other companies, why can't I do that for my kids? Kasi yun yung produkto ko eh. So, unahin ko yun. Diba? So, that's my focus.
And that's why I married this man. So, yung mga trophies mo ng FAMAS at MMFF ay kinakalawang na sa ibabaw ng lamesa. You know, a lot of these records would fade, but the minds we change and the love that we nurture, the kids that we have, that's going to be forever. My guest for tonight has proved that there are three powerful truths. First, your brain is wired for comebacks. Thanks to neuroplasticity, no story is ever final. Second, your words architect your world. That is the life-changing power of what we teach. And third, the greatest stories are not performed on screen. They are lived through the people who carry your love forward. And I do hope that the people we've helped, the children we've raised, will carry that love forward. RR Herrera is more than any award. His greatest legacy lives in the lives he's transformed through Train Station, our children. He's raising with love and wisdom, and the proof he offers that no matter where your story begins, you always have the power to rewrite what comes next. To our children, this is your father's legacy. Not what he won, but what he built. Not the roles he played, but the lives he transformed. And to our viewers, may his journey inspire you to look at your own story with new eyes and maybe, just maybe, start writing some new chapters. To all our fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. I am Carelle Herrera, and this is Lifeline.